Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin demonstrates a clear upward trend, consistently testing and surpassing the 96,800 resistance level. The RSI values generally remain above 50, indicating bullish momentum, with a few dips below 60, suggesting potential temporary pullbacks but not a significant reversal. The Bollinger Bands have been expanding, confirming the increasing volatility and upward movement. The forecast prices predict a continued climb, reaching 100,900, which reinforces the bullish outlook. Therefore, I recommend a long-term investment strategy focusing on capitalizing on this upward trajectory. My recommended strategy is to enter a long position at $97,500+, coinciding with the first forecast price. The stop loss should be set at $95,000+, just below the support level, to protect against unexpected downside movements. The initial target price is $98,600+, aligning with the second forecast price and a conservative profit target. If the price continues to rise and breaks above $98,600+, I suggest moving the stop loss to the entry price of $97,500+, and setting a second target price at $99,500+, based on the third forecast price. This strategy aims to capture significant gains while managing risk effectively, leveraging the strong upward trend and positive forecasts for Bitcoin. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum shows a slight upward trend, with the price fluctuating between a support of $1,570 and a resistance of $1,820. The RSI values have generally been within the 50 to 60 range, indicating neither extreme overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have widened recently, suggesting increased volatility. Given this, I propose a moderately bullish strategy. We will initiate a long position when the price touches the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, which is around $1,550. The stop loss will be set slightly below the support level at $1,520 to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price will be the resistance level at $1,820, aiming for a substantial profit. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI falls below 20, indicating an oversold condition, we'll enter a long position at the prevailing price. The stop loss will be set at $1,750, and the target price will be $1,850. Conversely, if the RSI exceeds 80, indicating an overbought condition, we'll consider a short position with a stop loss at $1,880 and a target price at $1,800. Combining these three strategies, we'll prioritize the Bollinger Band strategy for long positions, adjusting the entry price based on RSI signals. This blended approach aims to maximize returns while managing risk effectively, capitalizing on both volatility and momentum. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP shows a slightly downward trend with price fluctuations. The support price consistently remains at $2.13, while the resistance fluctuates around $2.19. The RSI values have been oscillating, indicating indecision in the market. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been nearing the upper band, suggesting a potential pullback. Considering these factors, I propose a combined strategy leveraging RSI and Bollinger Bands. We will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 50 and the price touches the support level of $2.13. The entry price will be $2.13. To manage risk, we will set a stop loss at $2.10, just below the support level. The target price will be $2.21, aligning with the recent resistance level. To further refine the strategy, we'll incorporate Bollinger Bands. If the price approaches the upper Bollinger Band, we will consider taking partial profits. For instance, if the price reaches $2.18, we will secure a portion of our gains. If the price continues to rise and touches $2.21, we will close the entire position, securing the target profit. This combined approach allows us to capitalize on potential upward movements while mitigating risk through strategic stop-loss and profit-taking levels. The overall portfolio will be 60% long XRP, 30% in cash, and 10% in other altcoins for diversification. This allocation balances potential high returns with risk management. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB shows a slight upward trend, consolidating between the 599 support and 618 resistance. The RSI consistently fluctuates around 50, indicating neither overbought nor oversold conditions recently, but a sharp drop to 43.0 on May 2, 2025, suggests a potential buying opportunity. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, which often precedes a breakout. Considering the forecast prices, which hover around $600, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy. We will initiate a long position when the price touches the support level of $599. Place a stop-loss order at $586 to limit potential losses. A first target price is set at $606, aiming for a $7 profit. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Bands. If the RSI falls below 20, indicating an oversold condition, we will buy at the lowest price. Conversely, if the RSI exceeds 80, we will sell. The Bollinger Bands suggest that if the price touches the lower band, it is a good entry point. If the price breaks above the upper band, it is a good exit point. For our current strategy, we will buy at $599, set a stop loss at $586, and target $606. If the price falls below $586, we exit the trade. If the price reaches $606, we take profit. This combined strategy offers a balanced approach, capitalizing on both trend following and momentum signals to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana shows a downtrend with recent price fluctuations. The RSI values have been oscillating between 53 and 65, indicating a neutral to slightly overbought condition. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility. The support price is consistently at $134 and the resistance price is $150. Considering these factors, I recommend a cautious long position with a defined risk-reward ratio. I suggest entering a long position at $147 with a stop-loss order at $134, coinciding with the established support level. The initial target price should be $150, the resistance level. If the price reaches $150, consider moving the stop-loss to break-even, $147, to protect profits. For a more aggressive strategy, a secondary target price of $151 can be set, but this carries increased risk. This strategy combines technical indicators and price levels to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin shows a sideways trend with support at $0.17 and resistance at $0.182. The RSI fluctuates between 48.4 and 60.8, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting decreasing volatility. Considering these factors, a combined strategy utilizing RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels is recommended. The strategy involves a long position when the RSI falls below 20 and the price touches the support level of $0.17, a short position when the RSI rises above 80 and the price reaches the resistance level of $0.182, and a neutral position when the RSI is between 20 and 80. Specifically, let's implement a long position. The RSI on May 6, 2025, was 48.5, which is below the oversold level of 20, and the price is near the support level of $0.17. Entry price will be $0.17. A stop loss will be set just below the support level at $0.168 to limit potential losses. The target price will be set at the resistance level of $0.182, aiming to capture a significant portion of the potential upside. This strategy combines technical indicators with key price levels to maximize profit potential while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano shows a slightly downward trend, with recent price fluctuations around $0.67. The RSI consistently hovers around the 50 mark, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. However, the forecast for the next week predicts a continued decline, with prices potentially reaching $0.661. Considering this, I recommend a short position strategy. The entry price should be $0.684. A stop loss should be set at $0.687 to protect against unexpected upward movements. The initial target price should be $0.663, aiming to capitalize on the predicted downward trend. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price consistently trades within the bands, with the lower band around $0.608 and the upper band around $0.747. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, indicating a potential oversold condition, we can consider a temporary long position with a target price of $0.678 and a stop loss at $0.682. Conversely, if the price approaches the upper Bollinger Band, suggesting an overbought scenario, we can reinforce the short position with a tighter stop loss at $0.696 and a revised target of $0.667. This combined approach leverages both RSI and Bollinger Bands to optimize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON demonstrates a sideways trend with fluctuations around $0.246. The RSI values hover around 50 to 60, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting decreasing volatility. Considering the support at $0.239 and resistance at $0.248, the price is likely to continue trading within this range. Given the forecast prices are consistently around $0.246, I recommend a neutral strategy with occasional opportunistic trades. My proposed strategy is to implement a range-bound trading approach. We will enter a long position at $0.245 when the price touches the lower Bollinger Band and RSI is above 30. Place a stop-loss order at $0.239, just below the support level. Set a target price at $0.248, the resistance level. If the price reaches the upper Bollinger Band and RSI is below 70, enter a short position at $0.248, set a stop loss at $0.251 and a target price at $0.242. This strategy aims to capitalize on short-term price fluctuations within the established range, minimizing risk with tight stop-loss orders and maximizing potential profit by targeting the resistance level. Based on the historical data and forecast, SUI demonstrates an overall upward trend with recent price fluctuations. The RSI consistently remains above 60, indicating bullish momentum, though nearing overbought territory. The Bollinger Bands show the price oscillating within a defined range, suggesting potential for short-term corrections. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $3.66, placing a stop-loss order at $3.34 to mitigate potential losses if the price reverses. The initial target price is set at $3.77, aligning with the forecast for May 13, 2025. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI falls below 20, indicating an oversold condition, we will enter a long position at the corresponding price. Conversely, if the RSI reaches 80 or above, suggesting an overbought situation, we will consider taking profits or exiting the position. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it's a strong indication of a potential buying opportunity, and if the price touches the upper Bollinger Band, it's a signal to take profits. The final target price will be adjusted based on the price action and the Bollinger Band's expansion, aiming for a 10 to 15% return on investment. Based on the historical data and forecast, Chainlink has been experiencing a downtrend with fluctuating volatility. The RSI consistently dips below 60, indicating a weakening upward momentum and approaching oversold conditions. The forecast suggests a continuation of this downward trend, with prices potentially reaching $13.9. Considering the support level at $13.6, we will implement a contrarian strategy, anticipating a potential bounce. We will enter a long position at $14.1, placing a stop-loss order at $13.6 to mitigate risk. Our target price will be $14.7, aiming to capitalize on a short-term recovery. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. When the price touches the lower band, it suggests a potential oversold condition, reinforcing our long entry. The center of the Bollinger Bands is consistently rising, indicating a gradual shift towards an upward trend. Therefore, we will prioritize the RSI signal for entry and exit points. The final portfolio will consist of 70% based on the RSI, 20% based on the Bollinger Bands, and 10% based on support and resistance prices, creating a balanced and adaptive approach to maximize returns while managing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Quant exhibits a clear uptrend. The price has consistently tested and bounced off the support level of $85.1, while also breaching the resistance level of $90.2. The RSI values indicate that the asset is currently in a neutral to slightly overbought territory, ranging from 65.4 to 74.0. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is nearing the upper band, suggesting a potential pullback or consolidation. Considering these factors, I propose a long position strategy. The entry price will be $85.6 on May 7, 2025, coinciding with the forecast price and the established support level. The stop loss will be set at $84.3, just below the recent low and providing a buffer against potential downside risks. The initial target price will be $90.7, aligning with the forecast for May 13, 2025. To further optimize the strategy, I will incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI falls below 30, indicating an oversold condition, I will consider adding to the position at $85.1. Conversely, if the RSI reaches 80 or higher, suggesting an overbought condition, I will consider taking partial profits at $88.1. The Bollinger Bands will serve as a dynamic risk management tool. If the price touches the upper band, I will tighten the stop loss to $87.3. This combined approach, utilizing both trend analysis and technical indicators, aims to maximize potential returns while effectively managing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Artificial Superintelligence Alliance shows a fluctuating trend with a recent consolidation phase. The RSI consistently hovers between 54 and 78, indicating neither strong bullish nor bearish momentum. The Bollinger Bands suggest periods of volatility, with the price occasionally touching the upper band but generally remaining within its range. Considering the forecast for the next week, the price is expected to fluctuate between $0.728 and $0.76. Therefore, I propose a moderately bullish strategy focused on capitalizing on short-term upward movements while managing risk effectively. My strategy involves a tiered approach. First, initiate a long position at $0.728, placing a stop loss at $0.684 to limit potential losses. A primary target price is set at $0.76, aligning with the forecast high. If the price reaches $0.76, consider a partial profit taking and move the stop loss to break even to protect gains. The RSI indicates that the asset is not overbought, allowing for further potential upside. The Bollinger Bands suggest that the price may test the upper band, and if it does, a secondary target price of $0.78 can be considered. This strategy aims for a balance between capturing potential gains and mitigating downside risks, given the current market conditions. Based on the historical data and forecast, THORChain has been fluctuating within a defined range between $1.26 and $1.4. The RSI indicator has mostly stayed within the 49 to 68 range, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show periods of volatility, with the price occasionally touching the upper or lower bands. Considering the recent trend and the forecast for the next week, I propose a moderately bullish strategy. The forecast suggests a gradual increase in price, potentially testing the $1.36 level. We will enter a long position at $1.29. The stop loss will be set at $1.26, just below the support level, to protect against a potential downside reversal. The initial target price will be $1.36, aligning with the forecast high. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 50 and approaches the oversold level of 20, we'll consider a second entry at $1.27, with a stop loss at $1.24 and a target of $1.35. Conversely, if the price touches the lower Bollinger Band and the RSI is below 50, it signals a potential buying opportunity. If the price touches the upper Bollinger Band and the RSI is above 70, it signals a potential selling opportunity. This combined approach allows for dynamic adjustments based on real-time market conditions, maximizing potential returns while managing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Zcash shows a strong upward trend. The price has consistently tested and bounced off the support level of $36.1, while approaching the resistance level of $39.4. The RSI values have generally fluctuated between 45.5 and 61.8, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The forecast predicts a continued upward movement, reaching $39.9 by May 13, 2025. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. Entry price will be $37.7, with a stop-loss order placed at $36.1 to limit potential losses. The initial target price is set at $38.1, based on the forecast and proximity to the resistance level. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. When the price touches the lower band, it suggests a potential buying opportunity. Conversely, when the price touches the upper band, it indicates a possible selling point. Given the upward trend and the forecast, I suggest holding the long position as long as the price remains above the lower Bollinger Band. If the price reaches $38.1, consider taking partial profits and setting a trailing stop-loss order to protect gains. The final target price is $39, aligning with the forecast high. This approach combines trend analysis, RSI signals, and Bollinger Band indicators for a robust and high-return investment strategy. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethena shows a downtrend. The price has been consistently declining from 0.341 to 0.254 over the past 2 weeks. The support price is consistently at 0.262, while the resistance fluctuates but remains above the current price. The RSI indicates oversold conditions, fluctuating between 35.8 and 41.7, suggesting potential for a short-term bounce, but the overall trend remains bearish. Bollinger Bands also confirm this, with the price consistently near the lower band, indicating downward pressure. Therefore, I recommend a short selling strategy with an entry price of 0.277, a stop-loss price of 0.286, and a target price of 0.254. To implement this, we will use a combination of RSI and Bollinger Bands. We enter short when the price is near the lower Bollinger Band and the RSI is below 45. The stop-loss is placed just above the upper Bollinger Band to protect against a potential bounce. The target price is set at the forecast price of 0.254, aligning with the continued downward trend. This strategy aims to capitalize on the ongoing bearish momentum while mitigating risk with well-defined stop-loss and target levels. The portfolio will prioritize this short-selling strategy as it appears to be the most efficient given the current market conditions. Based on the historical data and forecast, Stacks shows a fluctuating trend with a recent downward correction. The RSI indicates the asset is currently in a neutral zone, hovering around 50 to 70, suggesting neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. However, the forecast for the next week shows a slight upward movement, with prices ranging from $0.817 to $0.851. Considering the support price of $0.724 and the resistance price of $0.872, I recommend a long position with an entry price of $0.817. Set a stop-loss at $0.78, just below the recent low, to limit potential losses. Aim for a target price of $0.851, aligning with the forecast high and the resistance level. This strategy leverages the anticipated short-term upward movement while mitigating risk with a conservative stop-loss. To further refine this strategy, we can incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price consistently fluctuating within the band suggests volatility. If the price touches the lower band, it might indicate a potential buying opportunity, as it could be considered temporarily oversold. However, given the recent price action, I prioritize the RSI and forecast data. Therefore, the core strategy remains a long position at $0.817 with a stop-loss at $0.78 and a target price of $0.851. This approach combines technical indicators and price forecasts to maximize potential returns while controlling risk, a hallmark of a high-returns investment strategy. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin Cash shows a generally upward trend, consistently testing the resistance level of $383. The RSI values fluctuate, but largely remain above 50, indicating a bullish sentiment. The Bollinger Bands have been widening recently, suggesting increased volatility and potential for price movement. Considering the forecast for the next week, with prices ranging from $370 to $372, I recommend a long position. Entry price should be $370, with a stop-loss placed at $362 to mitigate potential downside risk. The initial target price is set at $383, aligning with the established resistance level. To refine this strategy, I will incorporate RSI signals. When the RSI dips below 20, it indicates an oversold condition, signaling a potential buying opportunity. Conversely, an RSI above 80 suggests an overbought condition, hinting at a possible sell-off. Considering the current RSI values and the forecast, the price is likely to continue its upward trajectory. Therefore, I suggest holding the long position until the price reaches $383 or the RSI reaches 80. If the RSI falls below 20, we can consider adding to the position at $365, with a stop-loss at $356 and a target price of $383. This multi-layered approach maximizes potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Pudgy Penguins shows a clear uptrend, consistently bouncing off the support price of $0.00729 and approaching the resistance level of $0.012. The RSI readings have been fluctuating above 60, indicating strengthening momentum. The forecast for the next week predicts a continued upward movement, with prices hovering around $0.0112 to $0.0124. Therefore, I recommend a long position strategy. Our entry price will be $0.0112, placing a stop-loss order at $0.0104 to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price is set at $0.012, aligning with the current resistance level. To optimize the strategy, we will incorporate Bollinger Bands. When the price touches the lower band, it signals a potential buying opportunity, and when it touches the upper band, it suggests a potential selling opportunity. Considering the forecast and the current trend, I propose a tiered approach. If the price reaches $0.012, we will move the stop-loss to $0.011 and adjust the target price to $0.0124 to capture further gains. This combined strategy leverages both momentum and volatility indicators, providing a robust framework for high-return investment in Pudgy Penguins. Based on the historical data and forecast, Worldcoin shows a volatile trend with recent consolidation around the $0.928 level. The RSI indicates that the asset is approaching oversold conditions, with a reading of 46.0 on May 6, 2025. The Bollinger Bands suggest that the price is currently near the lower band, potentially indicating a possible bounce. Considering this, I recommend a long position entry at $0.951. Place a stop-loss order at $0.916, just below the support level, to limit potential losses. Set a target price at $1.01, aligning with the initial forecast for May 7, 2025. To refine the strategy, we can incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI crosses above 50 while the price remains near the lower Bollinger Band, it strengthens the buy signal. If the price breaks above the upper Bollinger Band, it suggests a potential for further upside, allowing for an adjustment of the target price. However, given the recent volatility and forecast, a conservative approach is warranted. Therefore, the core strategy remains a long position at $0.951, with a stop-loss at $0.916 and a target at $1.01. This approach balances risk and potential reward, capitalizing on a possible rebound while protecting against significant downside. Based on the historical data and forecast, Litecoin exhibits a generally upward trend, supported by the consistently increasing forecast prices from May 7 to May 13. The RSI values fluctuate between 49.0 and 63.7, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. Considering the recent upward momentum and the forecast, I propose a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $87.5 on May 7, 2025. The stop loss will be set at $85 to limit potential losses if the price reverses. The initial target price is $91.3, aligning with the forecast for May 7, 2025. To refine the strategy, we will incorporate the Bollinger Bands. If the price touches the lower band, which is around $74.1, it signals a potential oversold condition and a buying opportunity. However, given the current upward trend, we'll stick with the initial entry price of $87.5. If the price reaches the upper band, around $93, it suggests an overbought condition. We will adjust the target price to $94.4, the resistance level, to capture additional gains. The final portfolio combines the RSI and Bollinger Band signals with the forecast data, providing a robust and high potential return investment strategy.